So we're here at the sidelines of the National Agribusiness Dialogue organized by the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. The minister herself has joined us to talk about this vision. Why is she so excited about this agribusiness forum? What is agribusiness, by the way, and how critical is it for national transformation? Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So even though I'm welcoming you here, this is your conference.
Yeah.
So many people. Why is this conference important, and why have you invited all these guys here?
Thank you very much. As you rightly said, this is an agribusiness dialogue. This is leading to a policy formulation. And I think all the people in this subsector has to be invited. I want a policy that is inclusive, a policy that is coming from the people themselves, a policy that they can own so that at least it will be well implemented. If it's coming from them, then you know that it is going to solve a problem. It is going to create opportunities, because you see, agribusiness has been there for long, but there hasn't been a policy properly to manage it. And so I think that if you are doing a dialogue, you need to bring all of them to bear so that they will bring their expertise, their expectations, their fears, their anxieties. We will look at what it takes to have a good agribusiness policy. So I brought all these people together so that we have a near perfect agribusiness policy.
Some people are wondering why agribusiness is even under trade and industry, because some are expecting this to be under agric. Can you explain the link between agribusiness and trade and industry?
So agribusiness is there to solve a trade and industry problem. If we depend on agriculture by exportation of our produce, then you know we are not going anywhere. It is the second leg, that is the value addition, that helps. And value addition is industry. Value addition is trade. Once you produce, then you have to sell. So once you bring agribusiness in between trade and industry, you have brought it to its proper place, because you are going to add value as in industry and you are going to trade as in trade. And so, and you know, in trade, you are talking about both import and export. So the right place for agribusiness is the Ministry of Trade and Industry.
So what relationship do you have with ministries like agric, ministries like fisheries? Because I think there were reps from some of those ministries also here. How do you work with these other ministries?
Okay. So at the agribusiness subsector, we are interested in value addition.
Yeah.
So we are expecting the Ministry for Fisheries to bring up policies that help people to produce more fishes. If we have a lot of fish, we will be able to add value to fish, as in tuna flakes that you see in a can. If we work well with the Ministry of Agric, they will scale up the production of raw materials so that we can add value to the raw materials. Even though at the agribusiness subsector, we are also interested in feeding industry. And in feeding industry, we do two things. We feed industry with agri products and non-agri products. So since we are talking about agribusiness, I'll talk about products from the farms. We specifically do what we call contract commercial farming. That one is specifically to feed industry. You know, we've done agriculture over the years, and we still import about 90% of our raw materials to feed industry. So the institution of agribusiness in that industry is to give us the opportunity to produce raw materials in commercial contract quantities to feed our industry. You realize that there are some tomato factories that have shut down. The factories are in good shape. The only problem is raw materials. And so as I speak to you right now, there is a company in Brekum that we are working closely with to help them with commercial contract farming. So that one is not for your soup or stew. It's not for the market. It's for industry. And so we work well with the Ministry of Agriculture, even in helping us get the agriculture people to do the right things, proper agricultural practices. These we get the expert from the Ministry of Agric. So we work hand in hand with fisheries and agriculture to make sure that our industries are fed well, especially industries that produce agriculture.
Let's talk about finance.
Materials.
I know you invited finance people. There were 23 banks. All the development banks were there. We also know that MasterCard and some other development partners were also here. How critical is finance to agribusiness, and what are you expecting to hear from the deliberations from the finance group?
Okay, so when you are talking about agribusiness, it is finance, and finance. To enable you do agribusiness, financing is very key. In other jurisdictions, cost of financing is good. In Ghana, cost of financing is very high. And so we continue to engage the financial institutions to let them know that if you are financing an agribusiness, the rates of interest has to be looked at. Fortunately, now Excellency John Dramani Mahama has created the enabling environment for businesses to thrive relative to interest rates. So we think that is a step in the right direction. The banks can also do better by giving long-term loan to agribusinesses, because it takes time for you to introduce a product, for the product to get attention, and before you can get the required sales. So if you take short-term loans, you are not likely to succeed and you cannot be competitive. And so we brought the financial institution to understand what we do, to understand what agribusiness brings to the table and the need for them to finance agribusiness. We also brought a lot of development partners because they are already helping us in the space. Top of MasterCard, they are doing a lot in the agribusiness area. And so we want more of these institutions, Agra, all of them to come on board. IFAD is also on board already. I want more to come on board for new products. I am excited that these development partners have come to listen to us, to see which areas they can collaborate with the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry to make sure that agribusiness is doing well.
You are from the Bono East region.
Yes.
It's part of what people consider to be Ghana's breadbasket.
Yes.
But for some reason, productivity is not that high. Indeed, today, one of the speakers said the 5 regions of the north plus OT, and I think your region, have over 60% of our arable land. Yet they don't have any strong agro-processing factory. Will this agribusiness exercise also mean the setting up of large-scale agro-processing plants in places like in Koranza or even from your place up? Because that's where the land is. It's a transition zone. We produce a lot of cashew, produce a lot of products, but it looks like all the factories are down south. What will this agribusiness forum and dialogue do for that as well?
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to a policy that helps business people to locate their industries in other parts of the regions where raw material is available. I'm looking at Techiman, I'm looking at Mpoanza. In Techiman North, I'm putting up a cashew factory, and it's to process cashew apple, not the nuts. Because you see, we don't even pick the nut at all. If you process the cashew apple, it's value extension. And so you give more value to the cashew nut farmer who plants cashew. Originally, you will not have use for the cashew apple, but now if this factory starts, then after picking the nuts, they also sell the cashew apple and make more money. And I'm looking forward to a policy that incentivizes business people to put factory in these areas so that we can have value addition and value extension.
This is the point of view. We have a special program today. We're bringing you conversations on the sidelines of the National Agribusiness Dialogue organized by the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. The sector minister has been talking to us about all the stakeholders here and why agribusiness is critical. She sees agribusiness as a bridge between trade and industry. She's talking about value addition, inputs and finance. Now, so after all the deliberation today, are we saying that the product will be a national agribusiness policy? Just walk us through what you expect and whether there will be any new law passed. What are we expecting after today's deliberation?
After this deliberation, we are looking forward to a policy that enhances agribusiness space, a policy that incentivizes people to invest in this area, a policy that makes the ease of doing agribusiness easy, a policy that helps the financing of agribusiness, a policy that helps in the production of raw material in the right quantity and right quality at the right time. I'm sure that this dialogue will be able to bring all these to bear. As you rightly asked me, all the people in the agribusiness space have been invited. They have done this for long. They know the challenges. They know the opportunities available. So I'm looking at them coming together to tell us what they need so that agribusiness can do well. As a ministry, we already have a draft. But we also want them to add their bit, practical bit. And as I indicated earlier, we want a policy that is inclusive, that solves a problem, and that gives opportunity.
Thank you very much indeed. We'll be speaking to the Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare. She's MP for Techima North and Minister for the sector. Very exciting discussion. When we come back, we'll speak to more people as this National Agri-Business Dialogue continues here at the Kempinski Hotel. Stay with us.